Eggs Club.
Have a biscuit.
Have one. That's an order.
Yes.
With an egg. Dip it in an egg. Dip it in.
Dip it in an egg. Okay.
That's
Right.
a little gesture.
So, we are a clown, an actor,
Hey-o.
and a therapist.
Hey-o.
And we are here
That's my sound.
to find the laughs and levity in your shitty breakup, because you know what they say, you have to crack a few hearts to make an omelette, and you have to read a few sad journal entries to crack a smile sometimes, and we're here to help you get over your ex and your sad little situationship. One little giggle at a time, aren't we, ladies?
Yeah, laughing at you.
Well,
you.
occasional, sometimes ladies, not always.
No. Some of us are she there, yes. No.
Yes, let's acknowledge. Hello, so
friend.
my name is Esther Cross. We have...
I'm Liv. I am here. Yeah. And that's big.
And
in so
that
many
is
ways.
big. And we all give you a little... That was a clap.
Thank you.
For all you listeners. And we have over here on my right...
I'm Elle Therapo. And what did I do this week? So this week I went to Tai Chi.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, movement.
Lovely.
Lovely.
Okay, movement.
Okay, serotonin. Went to school with her. Lovely bit of business.
Yeah.
Talk us through it.
Yeah, so this week we worked on the golden cockerel.
Say it again.
It sounds crispy and delicious.
What just happened in my throat? Because I don't understand what happened there. The golden cockerel.
Nice.
We worked on the golden cockerel, and yeah, I'm really
McDonald's
enjoying
secret menu.
I'm enjoying a bit of Tai Chi. For listeners, a bit of context here. I actually went to Thailand recently.
Oh.
So
Wait a second, did you
I'm a
go
bit
to
ahead of the
Thailand?
curve. Yeah. And I met a monk, and it actually, genuine story, actually instilled in me this urge for quiet in my life and a bit of peace. And he said, first thing you can do is meditation. I said, I hear you, but I won't do that. So he had said, second step is Tai Chi. And I said, I can do that.
Of the two, you would think the other way around, because that is harder doing the Tai Chi.
I find meditation extremely difficult as someone with concentration and focus issues.
No, I'm right there.
So Tai Chi, I was like, you know what, we'll give it a fucking crack at the egg. And we're a few weeks in, and I'm actually fucking loving it.
I mean,
Nice.
do you know what? I had to go into quite a meditative space when I was lifting home a unit from the British Heart Foundation. I bought a lovely wicker unit earlier today, and I had to carry it home. And I was feeling like an absolute unit carrying this unit all the way home, and actually that's made me feel quite sexy. What's made you feel sexy recently?
That's really quite sexy. Nothing like that. That's like objectively hot. I do like, so you know when like people wear a t-shirt and no pants?
Oh, like Winnie the Pooh.
Like Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of like written there with the honey. I think you can't make that hot. Regardless of gender, regardless of what you've got going on downstairs. I was talking to a friend about this, and then my boyfriend did it, and he was like, "That is horrible, isn't it?" And I was like, "That's fucking disgusting." I'm on a mission to sort of make that hot.
Guys, I'm sorry, I am going to reel this in because we are digressing so
You know, talk about
distinctly off
sexy
plot.
business.
Sorry,
So,
but we wanted to talk about
basically-
I want to talk about Winnie the Pooh being hot.
But
format.
You're right.
To
you're
reel us
right.
back in, this week, bit of Tai Chi, listeners. If you are thinking about exploring something a little bit more zen, meditation's not for you, have a
Elle
Google.
Therapo's been to Thailand,
I'm proud of you, Elle.
we're probably never going to hear the end of it.
Area.
We don't know anything now
But anyway.
because Elle's been to Thailand.
Anyway, we
So
digress.
Let's bring back.
Unless you buy me a fridge magnet, I don't give a shit about your holiday. So,
Nice.
I can't see your eyes, but I can feel them. So last week, we were talking about breakups, but more specifically about limerence.
Yeah.
Limmerence,
So
limerence.
I was sharing a tale of a person whom I was dating back in the years yonder, and basically describing how we'd met on Tinder. It was a limerence at first sight, and for listeners that don't know what limerence means, that is a term that is often used to describe a very intense attraction and what feels like love to someone that usually feels out of our reach. Yeah. And so that happened to extremes. I would say this went on for about 2 years of maladaptive daydreaming. When I say maladaptive daydreaming, get the popo involved. When I say maladaptive daydreaming, I mean when we want someone and we are very acutely aware they don't want us back. And we handle that by manufacturing beautiful little stories in our mind, which creates like a sort of faux closeness with this person. And I think an important bit of context here, guys, like when I would maladaptive daydream, obviously last week we spoke about
the man running down the
the Maroon 5 fantasy.
Can I just say, up until this point, the way you explain things is so beautiful. I'm like, you're basically talking dirty. I'm like, that's so stunning. And then you fucking hit us with that man and his flappy feet. And it was lovely until
the
then.
The soul slapping the sand.
On
the sandstone of Bristol Park Street. Yeah. No, I hear. But I think what's quite interesting to say is that oftentimes when people maladaptive daydream, they will have these beautiful, well-woven anecdotal stories. Like maybe they're on holiday in Dubai and they're by the pool, or these beautiful declarations of love. And my maladaptive daydreams were actually on large quite mundane. I remember having a very visceral maladaptive daydream that I would lie on my bed and fantasize about for hours, where I'd drive up the M3 with a man and we go to a holiday inn in Bolton.
What? Where is that? What's happened there? Where's that come from?
Well, I think there's something
tangible.
There's something in the mundanity of it.
Not even like a nice breakfast, like a cheeky little for England.
There were traffic queues and we laughed. How we laughed.
Do you know what? There is a romance in that. I really wanted to shit all over that, but there's a very special romance.
Honourable mention to Fleet service station.
Yes, everyone loves Fleet services.
It is a good one.
It's the moment when you're with a love or a fantasy love, if you were me at the time, and you see on the sat nav that big streak of red, and there's that thing of, God, we're in this together.
One of you's bleeding on it.
Sorry.
I made a joke a sort of second too soon, but you were like, there's a big streak of red. And I was like, one of you just sort of, you've stabbed each other and one of you's bled on, one of you's gone, oh no, one of you's gone, oh God, oh no, you've got the knife and you've just bloody stabbed it in and it's gone all over the car.
I think we should call the police again. They're probably on their way.
Can I say the reason I actually said that? Yeah, is some of us like I don't know what that looks like on a sat nav. I don't drive, and we didn't have a big sat nav anywhere. My mum was a big print out the whole map, make it A3.
Liv, I think that's a really wonderful thing that you've actually shared with the group.
Thank you.
To be honest with you, and I think actually authenticity on this podcast is really important.
Yeah, I'm being myself.
Yeah,
get back to the bleeding sat
in the
nav.
mask.
In the in the old Therapo mask. Sorry,
it's that mundanity you were saying. So it's like being in that car and just being like, "It's you. I love being with you. I love it." Is it that?
I know what you mean, because I would rather eat egg and cress sarnies in my pants than go to the Ritz with my loved ones.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? By my loved ones, I mean like partner. I don't mean like family.
As in, you'd rather eat the egg and cress with them.
Yeah. To be honest, I'd rather eat egg and cress in my pants with the person of my dreams
than dress up for Toby Carvery.
Then dress up and go to.
I'm not gonna lie. This is an analogy that I think might take me at least two working days to figure out.
I'm saying,
so I'm gonna narrow this back down to
zoom on past that traffic.
You know what? Speaking of nice little snacks, we are going to take a little break so that you can ponder on the delights of a Toby Carvery, a Fleet's service station sandwich, and eating egg and cress in your pants. And we're going to be back after this break.
She's that.
Hi. I'm Sam Rhodes, one of the co-founders of LAFS, the London Arts Facilitation Society. If you're enjoying watching or listening to any of this content, we'd really like you to donate a little bit of cash to help us build access to all of this wonderful stuff for working class people from all over England. You can go to laughs.org.uk to donate as little as £1 a month to help us keep the lights on and help us make lovely art, podcasts, comedy specials, and even professional wrestling for you at home. Laughs.org.uk. Donate today. Go on, do it for the laughs.
All right, so before the break, listeners, we were just talking about various maladaptive daydreams and how bizarre and mundane they can get. But so
we took a little trip to Fleet Service Station, but we are back in business. I want to hear the end of your story.
For sure. Let's get back to memory lane. So, as I was mentioning, we were deep in the throes of Limmerence and imagining this man coming through my window. It ended
Single glazing.
At this point in time, as these things often do, with a speedy and quick ghosting. Okay. And
you're like, moment for that because it was shit. It sucked.
I think a moment is important because ghosting's hurt, right? No matter wherever you are, however you are, whoever you are, it fucking sucks. And so time passed on. The dreams continued. I would continually sort of reminisce that this was going to be something that would at one point in time come back to me, 3.5 years pass and I re-download Bumble it was. And I get a notification that someone has super swiped me. Do you guys know what super swiping means?
The old super like.
Super like, thank you.
Do you have to pay for that?
Brag.
You have, Esther, you have to pay.
He paid.
So
he paid.
This man made a financial contract.
Maroon 5.
He put down gold pieces to try to claim me back. Gold pieces. And so I see this and we re-strike up a repertoire. Repartee. Thank you. And obviously understand that I've been having maladaptive daydreams about this man coming through my window, declaring his love for me for about 2.5 years at this point. They never ceased. We never got over it. So obviously the understanding is that it's time. I'm about to finally step into my destiny and become the person I was born to be. And we go on a date. It was shit.
Why did he not have his big splayed feet out?
he came in a firmly enclosed piece of footwear.
Oh.
And it became very quickly apparent that actually we had very limited common interests, sense of shared values, and it just went pretty dark.
I imagine that's how the 14-year-olds feel when they finally get their mitts on a labubu. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's an interesting thing because I think when I look back on it, that entire time before we met again, I would always sort of think, do you know what? There must be something about me that just hasn't quite got it right. There is a reason why we haven't hit our stride, and it's clearly something that I need to learn, that I need to be funnier, I need to get the joke right, I need to connect with this person better. Those years down the line, on meeting again, I had been given this gift of being able to realise, actually, he was a little bit naff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he was just a little bit inadequate. And so anyway, we dated for a short spell. And I remember very distinctly coming away from this date and thinking, God, like, after all of this time, all these daydreams, he actually wasn't the person at all. But not wanting to reconcile myself with that because we'd invested so much in this guy, right? And he then tried to ghost me again. And I remember texting him and I basically said to him, I was like, you cannot do this again. You actually cannot do me like this once more. You have to at least phone call. He rings me on the phone and I pick up, and his words, and I'll never forget this. He said, do you know what? I've thought about this. And I can't decide to this day if there is something wrong with me or if you're just not that great.
Oh my gosh.
Flappy Feet said that.
Do you know what? I've thought that about a cheese string, but I'd never tell it that to its face.
But I remember hearing.
Jesus, perfect,
I remember
as is Elle.
so distinctly hearing him say that, and thinking, like, thank God, like I've finally been let go from this.
So did you like that honesty?
No, I thought it was terrible.
I mean, it was wrong.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
wrong.
I mean,
and you were there like, no, I was going to say the same to you.
And when we think about, especially as women, how intensely we invest into being right for someone that we're dating, especially when we're in our teenage university years, how much we will put into shaping, adapting, molding ourselves. And then to have someone say, despite all of that you're just not that right, it's incredibly painful.
But do you know what, though? Do you know what? I think that this cunt walked around with a book in his pocket just to make himself seem sexier.
I met him once, like, going down the stairs.
Did you meet him?
Like, going down the stairs.
Wait,
I think
you're
he was
going to
like,
have to refresh my memory. I didn't know you met him.
He was that unremarkable.
He
It
was
was completely unremarkable. All I remember is I think he was literally like going down the stairs, and I think my instinct was what it was for most of the people that I think you had dated, and likewise for me, which was just like, oh, fine, you're a man. There you are. You're a guy with a face.
And you know what? Everyone poos.
Everyone does
That's
shit.
what we forget.
You've got
Everyone poos.
No, it's
I've heard
true.
you should, and you should do it.
And you should
get it out.
You should.
But I think
when you deify a person, but just because you don't get to spend all your time with them, you forget that they shit and they also have cringe interests.
Well, this is it, and I think you've delicately, very delicately, if I
I know.
You.
I'm outnumbered, and I don't like that. Sorry, this podcast should be called "Me and the Nerds." Me and the nerd boy. Me and the orcs. Is it orcs?
Nerds who like to fuck.
may. Can we?
Sorry. Yeah,
Please, I beg we bring this back to.
I beg
to
of you.
Because I think we were actually making quite a nice point.
No, we
there.
were. But
It about
yes, I saw him once.
there is something to be said for, oh God, it's wanky, but for growth, like between, if I look at myself now at 18 compared to how I'm at 30, and the torture we put ourselves through at that age to be right and to connect with men ultimately, and I think a lot of men are absolutely fantastic, by the way. Big supporter of
not all men.
big supporter of mankind, but also
Especially not Theo.
a lot of men don't.
What a beautiful boy.
A lot of men in the same way that a lot
He
of women
works with
don't.
us. Yeah.
We don't necessarily have the skills to form a brilliant relationship or to connect with people in the way that we would like to, and women put a huge amount of pressure on themselves to meet that. What's the word? Cross that chasm. When they shouldn't have to.
But you know what I think? When I think about the version of me that was absolutely devastated from a breakup, I think I wish I could be that dumb again. Do you know what I mean? There's something so fun about being that dumb.
Actually?
Yes, I do.
Ignorance
But
is
I
bliss.
remember.
See, I couldn't be paid money
Skipping.
to be that dumb again.
Oh,
You
no,
could not
there's
pay
a
me.
quality to it. I remember skipping to my ex's house. What a twat. I had wings on my feet,
What a fucking
and I wish
idiot.
I could be that dumb again.
I'm in
I was
between.
light with stupidity.
Well, yeah, but it's a nice space to be because you don't know any different. Ignorance can be a lovely place to be. I think I'm somewhere in between where you sort of couldn't pay me, and at the same time, I love how sort of colourful and unhinged that whole time was. I've actually got a very short, similar thing of something ended with someone that I didn't know very well, and also for some reason it sort of slightly decided was better than me. Impossible. And when we were like, he was ending it, he was like, yeah, hey, listen, don't let anyone tell you that your personality isn't great, okay?
Oh,
And I was like, no one's told me that except you just now.
I'm sorry, there is nothing worse than a man telling you that you're the greatest whilst they leave you.
No,
Like-
but it was it was the opposite. He was being like, hey, you suck, but don't let anyone tell you that you suck. And I was like, that's
You know
awful.
what? It reminds me of a time when I had a housemate who I was coming home after work, and he was sat outside my house with his friends. And as I was opening the door to go in, he said to me, "Oh, Esther, you look very tired." And I was like, "How dare you?" And he said, No, I don't mean tired. I mean, you look very dishevelled." And I was like, "Oh." And his friends were dying. And he was like, no, not dishevelled. What I mean is that you don't look like you have a grip on your life.
Brilliant.
You look like shit.
And I was like, no one asked you for your opinion. Hello, how are you?
Did
Is it
someone
good
3
for
times
that?
to just keep kicking you way down?
Did someone direct him to one of those full-on diggers at this point
Yeah.
to fully
Get him
dishevel its entire sense of self? Because I think that's the only way to go off that point.
I think we all just grabbed a handful of soil each and threw it upon him.
Get in
On his
there.
own grave.
There's I sort of admire like how high an opinion you have to have of yourself to say that to someone else. Like you said, I've thought that so many times. I'd never say like you're unbecoming and unremarkable, but I'm gonna
There's
think
no scenario in which you should tell someone they look tired.
Out of
No,
it, so
apart from if they're like,
has there been any time in either of your dating escapades where you've ever told a date words to that effect?
no.
Have you ever done that?
No, I probably in more ironically, not ironically, in more serious relationships, you obviously say more pointed things because you know each other better. So probably, things in arguments or whatever, but definitely not in a casual sense like that, just inflated sense of self that you have to be like, you kind of suck. Sorry about it. Never that.
If you are listening to this, you can't see that like Liv is doing a kind of Tracy
doing that,
Beaker look.
Bog off, Cam.
Bog off, Justine Littlewood.
Not crying. It's
You're
just
not
my
my
hay
real
fever.
mum.
Oh, have you got my Maroon 5 CD? Oh, it brings it back. Lovely circular moment.
Very nice
I
bit
said
of business.
circular, I meant cyclical. That's fine.
No,
You
we're
say this.
alongside
Little
you.
spherical moment.
Supportive
God, I miss
space.
CDs.
Supportive space.
Anyway.
I miss Rio Wellard.
But yeah, so
Good character.
just to, I guess, bring things back together. So, obviously that was actually quite a significant dating experience in my life. And even though if we were to boil down the hours of time spent, we'd probably be in single digits. No, maybe just at a push double. But it is crazy, I think, how significant sorry, let me think how I'm phrasing this. It's significant what an imprint people leave that actually, if you boil the components down, are maybe not that significant or remarkable, but we make them mean so much. And in those years when we're feeling so delicate, it's so deeply important. And God, I'm babbling now. I really started.
No, it's nice.
Do you know what?
I started on a journey, and I want to say I'll finish, but I'm gonna.
But you know
leave
what?
it
I
for
feel
fun.
like it reminds me of a time when I was polishing off a banana, walking down the street.
I love this.
And
Hook
I
us
got
up.
to the end bite of the banana, and I was just
That's good shit.
peeling
That's good
it.
chat, that.
I was just peeling it so that I could access that bottom bit of banana. But as I was bringing it to my mouth, that bit of banana fell onto the floor. Now, as I was walking down the street, there were other people approaching me, and they saw me drop this final bite of banana, and they looked really sad for me, actually.
Yeah.
Because it is sad, when you've got that final bit of uneaten banana that you've actually generated saliva for. And I think about that piece of banana at least once a month. And this was 3 years ago, and I remember that last bit of banana. And I think when we think about people that we never got to be with, we remember them as a banquet, but they were actually just a missed bite of banana.
That is so quaint and so beautifully put. And I think that seals off a really nice point that we often do talk about in the therapy sphere, that it is rarely the thing itself or the person itself. It's what we make it mean.
It's
Yeah.
different people for different times, for the person
the
that you
idea.
were. Yeah, and the
The
idea
idea.
of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not, it's not the banana. It's what the banana piece meant in that moment.
Yeah.
And for you, it might have meant one thing, but it might have meant something quite different to someone else.
But that final bit of banana will always hold such a position of desire in my brain because I never got to eat it.
And that banana
will always be desirable.
That banana.
What a beautiful point to end on, guys.
But
Let's
for
close
more
it.
not bananas.
food-based analogies, come back and see us next week.
Thanks, everybody.
Because by God, will there be more food-based analogies. See you all next week.
Have a good one.